in the Court of Appeals reinstated this order because it was lifted on November 30th, and he said the order of November 30th is voided, pending further determination of the Court of Appeals. Everybody understood what it meant. That is why construction stopped on Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. because that's when we got this. And it stopped on Tuesday, and it stopped on Wednesday, and it stopped on Thursday. And then on Thursday at 6 o'clock in the evening, a lawyer named Mackenzie Philo, I'll repeat her name, Mackenzie Philo, she called up and said, you know, we changed our mind. We don't think construction is stopped. We're going to start in the morning. It was an underhanded move. I am sure it was an underhanded move developed by our mayor, our soon-to-be former mayor, Bill de Blasio. Because to call your opponent at 6 o'clock on the night before you're going to violate an injunction and say, we're doing it in the morning, too bad, and putting us in a situation, because the Court of Appeals doesn't have electronic filing, unfortunately, where we have to overnight papers to Albany, is despicable. It's despicable by a lawyer. It's despicable by de Blasio. We have filed those papers. I have copies if the press wants it. We have an order to show cause that will be at the court at 8:30 on Monday morning, seeking to hold the City of New York in contempt.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
The City of New York needs to be held in contempt. It harkens back to the days when former Commissioner Banks got an order that the city should stop housing homeless people in offices, and they went ahead and did it anyway. The city was held in contempt. Well, here we're going to do it in Albany on Monday. And I'm going to walk up to police officers and construction people and hand them copies of this and say, what's your name? I'm adding you to the motion. Because they can't do this. But they came up with a strategy. They came up with a strategy. One of the most underhanded strategies I've seen in my 40 plus years as a lawyer. Hit them at 6 o'clock the night before, say we're going to go ahead in the morning, and F you, go to court and stop it. You can't do it until Monday. This project is going to stop. It's going to be stopped on Monday morning. But unfortunately, the trees that have been cut down, probably scores of trees by Monday morning, won't be able to come back. De Blasio should get out of this project. He should pass on the issue to the courts. He should pass on the issue to Mayor-elect Adams. Let him review all the arguments that this community has. Even the New York Times said earlier this week that de Blasio had built community consensus about another plan, and then unexpectedly, and without any consensus in the community, had imposed the plan that we now see going on with bulldozers over here.
Bullshit.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Question.
Thank you, Arthur. Okay. Okay. Our next speaker is Yu Ling.
Sir, you're probably, you gotta give space to the people, sir.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yeah. So, I represent Lower Manhattan. I have a section of the East River Park in my district, but I wanted to say that I am actually calling today on Mayor de Blasio and the Department of Design and Construction to immediately halt their renewed construction at East River Park. Woo! Yes. This is proceeding in direct violation of a clear court order. I'm appalled that the mayor and his team would toss aside a temporary restraining order granted by the Court of Appeals, but this is sadly emblematic of elected officials who view themselves as above the law and above accountability. I want to recap. Last Wednesday, Appeals Court Judge Rowan D. Wilson stayed a lower court ruling that allowed the city to continue its construction. In simple English, Judge Wilson told the city to stop everything that it was doing. Judge Wilson also set a hearing for December 20th, which is very soon, to hear the city's response to his order stopping work at East River Park. Instead of adhering to this, Mayor de Blasio and his team ignored both Judge Wilson and the law. That is wrong. It is corrosive to our legal system, and it is an insult to New Yorkers who expect our public officials to conduct themselves at the highest standards of respect for the law and our communities. In the case of East River Park, our city failed its residents at every level.
Yes.
The city's effort to muddy the issue and deceive New Yorkers reeks of desperation. The facts of the case are clear. Judge Wilson issued a temporary restraining order halting work. The mayor chose to ignore it, just as he has chosen to ignore our voices on issues such as borough-based jails, Two Bridges Towers, Rivington House, and many others. As activists and community residents seek legal protection from the mayor's impunity, I will continue to demand real accountability from the mayor's office, just like I did yesterday, and DDC, just like I've done for all of the times that we've had our meetings. And in the meantime, all work at East River Park must stop pending the judgment of the courts next week.
Stop the work! 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 Stop the work!
I want to thank all of the community members and activists who actually reached out to me to report this shocking breach of public trust and legal ethics, and I commit to remaining in this fight until our city finally respects both the will of the people and their legal obligations.
Thank you. Yes.
On the state level, I have often said that we believe, both my colleague and I on the state level have said repeatedly that we believe that there has to be state alienation rights exercised here. We have said it on repeat, and I want to make sure that we say it again here for the record. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, I just want to check with Tommy. Is there anyone else waiting? Okay.
Question for the
So
lawyers.
I just want to say something briefly, and then we can take questions. Thank you to our lawyers who are doing this on the legal front. Thank you. The community thanks you for all your hard work. And also, the community has been on the ground. Park defenders have been arrested. Over the last few weeks, many park defenders have been arrested fighting to defend this land. This struggle is about land. We need more New Yorkers to know about this. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends. Two park defenders were arrested yesterday, attempting to deliver the temporary restraining order document to the construction workers. Another park defender was even arrested this morning. The city is working as fast as possible to cut as many trees as possible. Right now, Saturday morning, in the rain, they are cutting trees because they know that eventually they will be stopped. And the construction company might get fined or they might be reprimanded, but unfortunately, they'll just pay it because money, that's just money to them. But the trees, these are 80-year-old trees. We need all New Yorkers to tell your friends, and we're inviting all New Yorkers to come and join East River Park Watch right here. Enter at Houston Street, just south of the Houston Street entrance, inside East River Park at these gates. We will be here. Whenever work is being done, we will be here fighting to deliver this document to halt work. We will be here Monday through Friday and on the weekends. When they're working on the weekends, we will be here. Tomorrow, we're having a community gather right here at 2 p.m. Tell your friends and show up. We need to grow this movement. East River Park Watch.
This is the people's park.
Okay, so we're going to do questions, and then we have other community groups here that also want to talk about other land defense struggles. So,
Questions.
okay, go ahead, questions.
So can you be specific? What federal agencies or police internal affairs, IDA, can be contacted to actually oversight this, including FEMA fraud, because some of this money is coming from the federal government. How come we can't go ahead and somehow stop this weekend with the right agency?
The money actually comes from HUD. HUD.
They have an internal, their own internal jurisdiction.
I would say the issue here, all energy should be focused on the mayor's office, the police commissioner, the parks commissioner.
But they're ignoring us.
But they're the ones giving the orders. The construction workers yesterday showed the directive from the Department of Design and Construction saying go ahead and do the work, and that's who we have to put pressure on.
But who's above them?
The courts, that's our position.
Okay.
It says injunction granted. I circled the words. Granted.
And who enforces the injunction?
It should be enforced by the New York City Police Department, whose commissioner and whose mayor has told them to ignore it. But we're going to hand it out to the police, get their names, and ask them if they wanted to be held in contempt. Thank you.
That's part of the point. They're taking our power and talking, ignoring us.
There's got to be more. You got to go above that. There is. When there's peace and justice, there's someone out there that'll make a really great case for it. Hey, come on,
Hello?
All right. I just want to point out that I was on the phone to various representatives of the police office this morning, the NYPD today, and they essentially said that they were told by higher ups that they were stopping people from being in and letting construction in. One of them even said they answered to the mayor, not to the people. So I guess they're the mayor's private militia. When you're talking, you want to know who to call? Yeah, maybe IAD might work. And also I did put in a call to the marshals with the Court of Appeals to let them know that one of their orders was being violated. But we're going to have to wait until we get the motion for contempt signed, I think, on Monday. But that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, just to summarize the answer to that, we have a copy of the DDC issued document that was given to the contracting company. We have a copy of that if any journalists want to see that. And in that document issued by the DDC, it says that the temporary restraining order was lifted and that the DDC is telling the contractor to proceed with work. And we know that is not accurate information because we have the document that says there is a stay of the stop work order. So that is incorrect. We also have, and we could give the press a copy, of an email that was sent by the city lawyer to the 7th Precinct telling them not to enforce the TRO. So this is what's functioning, and if any journalists want details on that, please see us after. Okay.
A lot of people are going to want to know why civil action and how people don't think
Sure. So the question was, why are we all here defending this land? And so the Eastside Coastal Resiliency Plan is a land grab. It's obvious. The plan is designed to fail. Anyone who looks at it, it's obvious. Cutting down 1,000 trees in this neighborhood is a death sentence. It's a suicidal mission. We will suffocate without these 1,000 trees. It's our only protection from the vehicular exhaust from the FDR. Our neighborhoods are high rates of asthma. Without these trees, we're doomed. So we're here to defend the land and to say hands off the trees. We need flood protection. Absolutely. We want flood protection. And we want a version of the community-backed plan that did not involve committing ecocide and destroying a vital 50-acre biodiverse park that is highly used by mostly working people.
Well, just one other thing, so you understand. I live directly across the FDR Drive. One of the buildings in my co-op flooded during Superstorm Sandy. If I thought that this was the only thing that would protect my home, I wouldn't be out here fighting it. It's very clear that they have some other subterfuge that they're aiming at that doesn't have anything to do with protecting everybody's homes. Why did they work with us for 4.5 years to come up with a plan for the city then to go dark and come back with a completely different plan a few months later? And they're running through this like, you know, it's like bulldozers. They're just bulldozing everything. And what's the hurry? Why not let Mayor Adams weigh in on this?
What's the maximum you stay in jail if we block people
There is
going
no
in
way
and
to
out?
know. There is no way to know if you are arrested being a park defender attempting to deliver the TRO. We have no idea. We can't
lay
anticipate
down
that.
in front of the cars going back and forth.
There's
What
no way
stops
to.
us?
I don't know.
My question is for...
Sure. Questions from the
My
press?
question's for Mr. Schwartz. What's the plan on Monday in Albany?
Plan on Monday in Albany, our papers will be delivered at 8:30 in the morning. Whether the city responds or not, it's up to them. They were served yesterday. They were served yesterday evening. We sent it yesterday evening. The judge will consider it. I'm not sure whether he will. Judge Wilson will ask for us to weigh in at a conference or not. He didn't last week. He signed it right away. The same day we submitted it, he signed his TRO. I have a feeling that he's going to do the same thing on Monday. And we should hear sometime in the middle of the day on Monday. Unfortunately, that will be 4 days of tree destruction.
This is Roger Manning, who's one of the main folks fighting in the struggle for land defense on Governor's Island.
Hi, I'm testing. Working? Testing. Oh, thank you. Hi, I'm Roger Manning, co-founder of Governor's Island, co-founder of the Metro Area Governor's Island Coalition, MAGIC, with Allie Ryan, who's standing over here. And we're fighting a similar fight out on Governor's Island. We have a lawsuit that's been filed. But essentially, de Blasio, in defiance of the court order, is trying to make destruction of East River Park irreversible in the 11th hour of his reign of terror of upzonings and public land sellouts throughout the city. A complete disregard of the publicly supported, thoroughly researched resiliency plan for East River Park in order to clear the way for an extremely destructive, corrupt top-down scheme is consistent with the current city administration prioritizing the financial gains of developers and who knows who else, or the well-being of current and future citizens and wildlife of New York. Louder? It's typical of what's going on all across the city. On Governor's Island, also Inwood, Soho NoHo, Two Bridges, the Seaport, Crown Heights, Botanical Gardens, Sunnyside, Gowanus, Penn Station, Sunset Park, Elizabeth Street Garden, and just everywhere. MAGIC is in total solidarity with East River Park action.
Governor's Island. Yeah. Solidarity with Governor's Island.
Check, check. Hi everyone. I'm Kay. I'm one of the younger park defenders. I've been here since the summer. I'm a local artist. My family has lived in Baruch since the 50s. A lot of you may know my grandmother Zoraida, who passed away. I just wanted to add to a couple of the talking points that were brought up earlier. The first being the heat. NYU did a study within the last 2 years of West Harlem. And on average, West Harlem is 33 degrees hotter than Central Park West year-round.
Yep.
They are going to create another West Harlem right here.
Yep.
The trees being the fact, these specific trees take, on average, 5 to 7 years to grow, 10 years to grow 5 to 7 feet. Meaning we won't see, just to add to that point, we will never see growth like this again. A lot of the schools do their local sports here. A lot of the transplants come here to enjoy their sports, even though they're not native to here. So this affects everyone. This affects the people on the other side of the water, because if the water has nowhere to go on this side, where will it go? It will go to Domino Park. When they lift this area by 10 feet, they will effectively create a levee and turn the East Village and the Lower East Side into a bathtub. When Bernard Baruch created the 4 projects that line the East River Park, the 2.2-mile shoreline, there is a clause in the deed that says that these projects are never to be sold. They are to be left for affordable housing for as long as they stand and are to never be sold by the city. The only way they can get rid of us is if they abate us. If they tell us if it is for our own protection.
This is Tiny Girl. My name is Edward Eek. A lot of you guys know me from the neighborhood. I'm a long-term resident. I've been living here for decades, since I was skinny and had hair. Long time ago. I have been coming to this park almost every day for about 30 years. I have fished in this park. I've bonded with my dogs in this park. I've made friends in this park. I've healed from heartbreak and depression in this park. This park has saved my life. Yeah. I have seen the butterflies, the hawks. I have seen beautiful little carpenter bees in this park. These trees nourish me. These trees nourish my dog. What is behind us right now is a crime scene. A crime scene. This is the inability of our toad-faced mayor, who looks like he's constipated all the time, to really listen to the will of the people. This is a land grab. Don't kid yourself. There's going to be a huge auditorium back there. The tennis courts are going to be beautiful. There's going to be parking, and it's going to cater to all the new buildings that are going to be built up there. The 2 bridges, whatever the hell they're calling. Our council people, our mayors, they're the most corrupt people in the world because they don't listen to us. I am heartbroken. I'm not big on speaking like this. I like staying home and writing my poetry. But this, to me, is one of the most disgusting things I've witnessed in my life. I'm going to be 60 years old in January. When will I see these trees grow? Your kids are not going to see these trees grow. These little saplings, they're not going to grow. They're going to rebuild a park in 20 years. Who are they kidding? They're not going to build anything. This is my home. And it doesn't feel like it anymore. This is robbery. Thank you.
So here's Allie. Thank you, Sarah. So I'm here today with my family. You see my children with you. You've heard one of my children speak. I've been here every day this week. When I ran for city council, I said this was our #1 priority. We need to save the park. Back in 2019, my children and I were coming to the park every day in the summer for the free Parks Department sports classes. We became aware that there was a switcheroo, that the ESCR version 4 at the time was going to pass, and I looked at the plan. I'm like, this plan is to protect the FDR. It's not meant to protect our family. We live 2 blocks from here. We live in a floodplain. Our building was flooded during Hurricane Sandy. So whatever happens to this park directly impacts us and our neighbors and the storefronts beneath us. We need a better plan. That was what I advocated for. It was a modified version of the community-led plan. But what I want to ask of all of you today is to hug someone who is 80 years old, because if you look through the fence, you're going to see trees that were 80 plus years old that were cut down this week. This is Ecocide. The ESCR is Ecocide. Please hug a tree today, even if it's the tree in front of your building. Hug a tree today. Thank you, Allie. Thank you so much.
Yes, I am. You're being served personally.
You have to be a process server, sir.
No. You're being served by me.
Drop it on his feet.
I will. You're being served civilly. You're going to be civilly sued because you're violating a New York State court order. If you don't accept this from me, I'm going to serve you, and you have been served. Okay? And you will be required to. You will be deposed in a civil case that is against you. And you need to understand that. Were you ever taught at the academy that you don't obey an illegal order? I need your badge. Could you please?
One more time, a little more enthusiasm.
No, you have to tell me your badge number. Two. Okay, good.
I was at a rally.
What do you want me to? Let me spell it out. Two.
You are committing a crime. Do it immediately. You are committing a crime. You are committing a crime. Stop what you're doing immediately! You are committing a crime! You are committing a crime! You are committing a crime! They won't be it, it cannot break!